Hey everyone, I'm Jess.
Hi everyone, I'm Ali.
And today we're going to talk to you about the Q90T. But first, we'd like to give a quick introduction about who we are. We're a couple from Canada who just enjoy keeping up with technology. And we just want to give you our honest opinion
Yeah.
on the products that we're currently using.
And our experiences with them, and just us using the stuff that we buy at home and our take on it.
And again, we're just regular consumers. We just like to.
Everything that we're talking about is stuff that we bought, and or like have come across and have used personally, and we're just basically letting you guys know on our personal, opinions on it.
Yeah.
All right.
So basically, we were looking for the 55, a 55-inch TV, mainly because that's the size that would best fit our space. And our best options were the LG C9 and the Q90T. Yeah.
The Q90T.
Yeah.
So basically they're both at that time they were both the same price. They were both on sale for I believe $2,200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canadian dollars.
Yeah, 2,200 Canadian. We were looking at this the C9, but looking back now, obviously now there's also the C10 and also
the GX.
The GX. That's more of a better option for us because we were looking for something to wall mount, and as you guys can see, and the GX would be an OLED potentially if you guys are okay with OLED. I mean, for us,
we worried about burn-in.
Yeah, we worried about it a little bit, but at the same time we're pretty careful with our electronics, and we're willing to take the risk and watch over it. But the thing is, at the time, we weren't willing to pay that increase in price because it is more expensive than we're talking about the GX. It's more expensive than the Q90T or the C9, and so because of that, at the time, the C10 and the GX weren't really an option. But I just wanted to mention that in comparison to all this. So we ended up going with the Q90T. Initially, actually, we went with the C9. We had that for about 3 weeks, and we used it with gaming and just watching TV regularly. And I think when it came to just like regular TV use and our future plans of having it wall mounted, I was kind of wary about that, and because the actual TV, even though it is thin, it's pretty heavy, and also the base is pretty thick. But the top is really thin.
About 3/4 of the way up, the TV is very thin. So from
it's like about
here to there.
Yeah, about 3/4 of the TV is very thin. It's like 1/4 up, and it's like really thin that I was scared to like handle it and put it on a wall mount. So I need something more sturdy, more secure, more solid. So we went with the Q90T, and compared to the C9, which I'm comparing it to, we switched the C9 for the Q90T, and I think it was a great switch. We mostly use it for gaming. We do
some daytime watching as well.
Yeah, we mostly watch like just like regular cable streaming apps, but we mainly use it for gaming. If we were to use it for movies and stuff, I guess we would consider OLEDs more, but because we use it for gaming, we really thought that the no burn-in and the fact that it was solid
made it a pretty good
all around. Yeah, for sure. So that's our intro about basically how we got into the whole thing. And in terms of the pros of the TV, the pros of Samsung's best 4K TV of 2020.
And I guess this goes all around generally, Samsung in general. Just it's pretty bright.
Yeah. Well, in terms of I'd say that in terms of the QLEDs.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the QLEDs, in terms of that, and I mean specifically this TV, like you were saying, it is very bright compared to. We also have the 2018 Q8FN. Compared to that one, it's way more bright. It's got great HDR as a result, I guess, and yeah, that's in terms of the brightness. In terms of another pro would be the fact that it's more colorful compared to the Q8FN from 2018. A lot more colorful, more punchy. Definitely gets your attention. Another pro would be the fact that it's, as I was mentioning earlier, is great with gaming. It's got great gaming features like low input lag. It's got the HDMI 2.1 gaming support. For example, the ability to game in 4K at 120 hertz. It's got ALLM, VRR, FreeSync, and yeah.
And again, going back to it just being a really solid TV, one of its pros as well is it's great for wall mounting. It's fairly thick. I don't exactly know the inch.
Sorry, one more thing I forgot to mention. So I was talking about the gaming features. It was 4K 4K at 120 hertz, and doing 10-bit at 444 chroma. I don't know what all that technical means, but I guess that makes it set up for next generation gaming and the ability to display the full set of colors and this full ability that the console wants to put out. So I guess the TV is able to handle that. The port, I just wanted to mention also the port that is able to do that, it only has one port as HDMI 4 that is capable of those features. The rest of the ports are just HDMI 2.0. Yeah. Sorry.
One of the other pros is just it's a great TV for wall mounting. Just it's very sturdy, it's solid, and it has a flat back as well. So it's a nice.
It's like a uniform back as well. It's all just one size, flat, and yeah, it's like you were saying, it's solid.
And you can
you
be
don't
a little
worry
bit
about just moving it around.
Yeah, you can be a little bit heavy with it. Like
Yeah.
you can be a little bit,
A little rough with it.
a little bit rough.
Yeah.
And it can definitely withstand it. Obviously, you can't drop it, but it's great for,
I've dropped. Speaking of which, I've actually dropped the TV before. I was playing VR.
This is how great Samsung TV is. That the durability, amazing. After this story,
we actually have another TV. We have the Samsung F8000. It's the 8 series, I think. The 8 series. And it's a 3D TV. It's a 1080p TV. So I was
55 inch, same thing.
Yeah, so 55 inch, and that was actually our previous TV previous to the Q8FN. We still have that, but we're not using that. We're mostly using the Q8FN and the Q90T. So anyways, the TV, I was actually playing VR. I was playing Creed, and I got really into it. And the next thing I know, and it was actually not wall mounted. It was just sitting on a table, and I got really into it. And next punch, I just punched, and next thing I know, everything's on the ground. VR just cuts out.
TV's on its head.
Oh yeah, so I take off the VR and I just look over, and the TV is actually flipped over, and it's upside down with the top actually on the ground.
So the stand is up.
Yeah.
TV is on the ground.
Yeah. So.
It's a big mess, but it actually wasn't that big of a mess. It wasn't a mess.
And it got a little scratched, but perfectly fine.
TV worked fine. No,
Perfectly
no
fine.
picture damage. No.
Yeah. We're still.
No, barely. Actually, I don't think there was any scratches on the TV.
No, it's just kind of like I would say like just rubbed off paint kind of thing, which was amazing.
Over time, it's like over time you could say, some paint rubbed off.
Now it's not to say I would say the same thing for their 2018 Q8FN or the Q90T. To be honest with you, I think that the peak of Samsung's TVs was that 8 series around that time, those that year, in terms of their 1080p TVs I'm talking about. Now I think after that they started realizing that, hey, we're putting too much into our TVs, and they started cutting back the features. That TV had a that we still have it. That TV has a built-in camera, which actually can detect your like your presence, and you can actually change the volume or the channel with your hand. So for example, if you're eating and your hands are dirty and you don't want to use the remote, you actually can just lift up your hand, just go like this, and you can change channels or change the volume. It was actually a pretty handy feature.
Now that we think about it, it's definitely a feature that we could definitely use.
We missed that, for sure.
I mean, it's gone.
And it was a built-in camera that you could actually just pop in if you were worried about privacy. You could pop it into the TV, and it would just look flush and flat. TV is actually it's really thin. I'm rambling on here about the Q8.
It's about the Q90T, by the way.
I know, but right now I'm talking about the F8000.
Which was a good TV. It was a good TV.
It's a great TV. What I'm rambling on about is the fact that because these features, like I mentioned, the built-in camera, the fact that it was a 3D TV, it had 2 different processors. It had they even put in this gimmicky thing about making it more future-proof with this evolution kit, which was bogus. I don't think anybody even really put any more thought into that, or time into that. But these features were all wrapped up into that TV. Also the stand it's beautiful. It's like all chrome. The design is just a great design, I think. And it's 3D, and it was a great gaming TV. To this day I still sometimes game, on that TV. But what I'm saying is that after that year, they started cutting those features out, and they started going into their 4K TVs, and you start seeing that every year the 4K TVs were losing features as well. Come to this year, how people are comparing the Q90T to the Q90R, which we don't have, but from what I'm seeing is that people are saying that the features got cut from this year, and so this year the Q90T is more compared to last year's Q85 or a Q80R or something like that. Q80R, I'd say.
Not the Q90R?
No, because the Q90R, they were saying that for this year, for this year, the Q90T, they're comparing it to the Q80 because of the cutting of some features, and they're saying that Q90R is in a whole nother league of its own. But yeah, in terms of those features being cut, though, I think overall, I don't have the Q90R to compare directly, but in compared to the Q8FN, I think that those slight incremental changes have made the TV better, and overall it is a better TV, visually and just in terms of performance.
So I guess that also will lead us to the few cons, I guess, that we found with the Q90T.
Yep. So the one of the cons I was kind of mentioning earlier was that the fact that it has only one HDMI 2.1 port. They could have made more. I guess I don't know why they didn't just make all 4 like LG. But
personally, I guess for us, it wouldn't really matter because we would only need to hook up one console, but
Yeah,
ideally it would be nice if we, to have the option. Option's always great.
for sure.
Um,
I mean, potentially also we could also. This is also an option for people that want to, install more than one console. There is the ability to get an HDMI switch. I don't know if there's any HDMI switches right now that are compatible with HDMI 2.1, but maybe in the future, I'm sure there's going to be something developed like that. So getting a HDMI switch and HDMI cables that are compatible with HDMI 2.1, and problem solved. You got, out of one port, you got however many ports you want.
Yeah.
Right? So
more than what you started with.
for sure. So that's definitely an option in terms of TVs, not just the Q90T, but any TV that has only one HDMI port that has 2.1 features. You can capitalize on that by getting HDMI 2.1 switch and
Problem solved.
yeah. Another con I noticed when using the TV, I would say that the backlight has some fluctuations at times. The local dimming, it cuts in and out. It doesn't cut in and out, but it comes in like really strong and then it kind of like dims out. I've noticed it sometimes with subtitles during like movies or something like that, and you just see it kind of get on the screen really bright and then kind of dim out, and sometimes it's annoying. I just wonder why couldn't that be fixed, or why wasn't that fixed to begin with? You are paying premium price for a TV, but I'm sure with future updates with firmware, hopefully it'll get fixed. But yeah, that's one of the cons I noticed. Another thing that is kind of along the same lines, another con I would say in terms of the TV would be the screen uniformity could be better. Like the edges of the TV are a little bit dimmer, a little bit darker than the actual screen. Also, there are patches, not patches, but there are parts where it's not like perfect. It could be better. Just overall, I feel like Samsung could just do a little bit more, put a little bit more effort into the production. And going back to my point earlier, I feel like there was a point in time where they were trying to pack as much as they could into the TV, and now they're just kind of trying to dial it back a little bit and just work on the fine tuning, and hopefully they can find that perfect balance. It's getting close. It's not there, but it's getting very close. So hopefully with the next iteration.
Yeah, and I guess leading to our final con, I'm a big fan of options, and as you probably or don't know, it doesn't come with
Yes, you don't know. Well, we know now.
It doesn't come with a One Connect box, so I mean, it'd be nice to have an option where you could have all of your wires and everything stored in the one little nice compact box.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's no option for that. And it's unfortunate because I believe the Q95T.
Yeah, which is
the
actually
Q95T,
released.
which is not sold in North America.
Yeah, exactly. It's not here. They're selling it in, I think, Asia and Europe, and
it's exactly the same, essentially.
Same display, same basically quality, but
hardware, frame, everything.
Yeah, well, I think
I
think the TV is just a little bit thinner, just because of the fact that it doesn't have the ports in the back, and so it has that One Connect box, which has just that one thin cable coming out the TV, connected to the One Connect box. So overall, though, I think it's pretty much this. I mean, it's the same TV. It's the same TV, just maybe a little bit thinner, just tiny bit.
And probably more expensive as well.
Oh yeah, just it's got to be a little bit more expensive. It has to be, just because it's you have that One Connect box. But it would have been nice. I mean, it's not for everyone. for us, for our setup, the fact that we have the table right here, the computer table, I could have just set it up somewhere around here and it would work. It's not to say that our setup isn't bad. I mean, isn't good, but it would have been even better. Right now, I have 3 cables going into the back. I have the LAN cable, I have the power cord, and the HDMI cord. So, and I have that HDMI cord going into a 4-port switch. So basically, using 1 port for all my stuff. Yeah.
Wiring and cordage.
Yeah, for all like the console and the Apple 4K and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yep. So one thing I was just thinking about in terms of Samsung and future options for their TVs, I was just thinking in terms of the initial setup, giving the user the ability to choose between a simple setup, a simple initial setup, and a more advanced, more detailed initial setup would be great. Just for example, to be able to just go in at the beginning, turn off eco mode for all picture modes, would be great. Rather than having to go into each picture mode and having to turn off eco mode in each.
Explain that it starts you off as that.
Yeah, and I think as a default, all TVs, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure for like North America, they're all starting off with eco mode on. I think it's just the reason of the energy savings and stuff like that.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, I mean it's a good thing. But if you're trying to preserve picture quality and you're trying to get the best out of your TV, which you paid for, I would imagine that most people would turn off things that are like dimming the TV just because of ambient, room light or whatever. So that's something maybe they can put into their next TVs, just giving the user more just the ability, just right off the bat, the ability to do more and set the TV up.
In a way, personalize.
Yeah.
How you want your TV.
Rather than having to do that tediousness, just cut back on the tediousness would be great, right? Right. So we have we've set up 3 questions for the Q90T, and we're just gonna wrap it up with those 3 questions. What's your favorite thing about the Q90T?
So for me personally, I guess because I game a little bit more than I would watch on this TV, gaming for me is a big thing. The colors so far on the games that I've played were pretty bright. They're colorful. Would I say that they were the best? Probably not. But again, that is probably the best feature that I would consider of the TV. Again, because I mainly spend most of my time gaming on it.
Yeah.
Just makes it enjoyable. Good graphics, good everything that you can enjoy. Makes it more fun.
It's had slight issues during the beginning when we were first starting the gaming. We would have a little bit of inverse ghosting issues, just a little bit of artifacts here and there, and it got better with the updates. It's not perfect. I still see a little bit of artifacts here and there, but it's pretty good. Like overall, when you're in the game and you're gaming, you're not really noticing that kind of stuff, which is good. Yeah.
So what do you like best about the Q90T?
So I'd say the overall picture quality. I'd say mentioning the little things that I had, the little quarrels I had in terms of the cons. Overall, I still think it is a very good quality LED, LCD TV, and quantum dot. But it's rich, it's bright, it's vibrant. The blacks are dark and deep, and it's got wide view angles. I mean, for us, it's not really in it. We weren't looking for that wide view angles, I guess, but we just kind of wanted the best of the best, and for the money we had, and I think we made a good choice. Yeah. In terms of the picture quality, as I was saying, like it's one of the best. Comparing it directly to our Q8FN, it's way better. I think. She thinks differently. But we have our little back and forths about that. But I respect her opinion. I do understand where she comes from about that, and I sometimes do agree with her, because like at the end of the day, I think every person has their own kind of limit, or they have their own sweet spot, I would say, with TVs, and I think she hit the sweet spot with the 2018 Q8FN, and I think anything after that is just falling short of her expectation of the next jump up, and
for lack of a better expression, it didn't wow me.
Yeah. No,
it's great TV. It's not to say that it's not a great TV. It's great TV.
Yeah.
But again, I guess maybe I was just expecting something probably a bit more extravagant, more something that gave me that wow factor, which it was kind of like, okay, yeah, it's nice, but like what about it was so great?
Yeah, I hear it. What would you change about the Q90T?
Again, I'm a big believer of options, and obviously I think having the One Connect box would probably make that, I guess, the deal breaker? Would that make sense?
What? Sorry? The having it would be the deal breaker? No, not having it, I think, is the deal breaker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were expecting more for your money, right? Like you're spending the top money, the top dollar, and you're expecting...
Yeah, everything.
You're expecting the best, right?
Yeah.
And then the fact that you buy it and then...
When I know that certain options, certain other TVs,
there's a better option now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Include
for the same price.
For the same price?
Yeah.
I feel kind of like I'm being cheaped out of, I guess, a better deal.
Yeah. And I guess that's the fact that she found out the Q95 got released in other places, and it's the same TV just with the One Connect box, and it's like, okay.
Would have probably got the Q95T, but this was our option, so
yeah.
I guess it was the next step down from...
I'm sure it would have been more expensive, so maybe it wouldn't have been an option, but we don't know. We're not sure how much more expensive. Maybe if it was only 100 or 2, it could have been an option for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of my opinion on what I would change, I've mentioned it before. Samsung can do more, can do better in terms of the picture uniformity and just screen uniformity. Screen uniformity. There we go. Yeah, the screen uniformity and the panels and the local dimming. Just overall, I think they can just try a little bit harder. I mean, I think I've been hearing that they're trying more in terms of their 8K TVs, but it would just be nice to see them trying hard in every department. You know, whether it's the HD, whether it's the 4K, whether it's the 8K. I'd like to see your money put to good use and actually, good products being sold to customers. Something that you're
not just the next product.
Yeah, not just like empty features that are just gonna kind of get you to, buy something that's gonna break or you have to replace. You want to buy something that's gonna last you at least 4 or 5 years before you have to buy the next version that's gonna wow you, because why? It's actually a crazy jump up from your previous TV. So
Also instinctively, TVs that come out, they advance in technology, and
for sure.
other options keep getting added onto TVs, and as we go along, you'll want
But
those
sometimes
to
they
continue.
get cut too,
And
so it depends.
exactly, so
Sometimes
you'll want
some
those
years,
to progress as well, and if they don't, then
Yeah.
they fail to wow.
And that's the thing about sometimes those in the next version features get cut, and it makes you kind of think, it's like, hey, maybe we should have got the previous year, maybe we should have got last year's model, right? And for us, for so long, the premium high-end 4K models weren't really an option for us, because they were only available. So for example, I think it was in 2018 when we were looking at the Q8FN, we weren't looking at the Q9FN because the Q9FN, I don't believe it was available in a 55 inch. I think the smallest size was 65 inch. And so that was one of the things. And then the next year they started making it more available, and they made it available in 55. But that was one of the things that kind of made us go the way we went. And yeah. So that was in terms of what we would change. As I mentioned, I said better panels, just better screen uniformity, better local dimming, and she said the one Connect box would be nice, and why couldn't they just carry it over and just have the Q90T and the Q95T be the same thing, one in North America, one in Canada.
at least offer it, you know what I mean? Like, at least offer it.
Right. So that's that. In terms of all this that we just mentioned, all the stuff we talked, so would you say the Q90T was worth the price? I already know where you're at. Everybody.
I mean, I guess ultimately I don't think it's worth the price, again, because you are paying the premium price, and so you are expecting to have, I don't know, I guess the best of the best.
Yeah. And we paid $2,200 on sale. So yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. I think it was $300 off or something like that, right? I think it was supposed to be
$2,400.
I think it was supposed to be $2,500, and then we got it for $2,200, I believe.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% about that. But you're saying that it's not worth the price. It's not worth the increase, and then or not the increase, just the general price of the product. And you could be right. Some people some people arguing that, hey, the Q90R and the Q90T, it's actually, when they released the Q90T this year, is actually cheaper than Q90R of last year, right? But people are also arguing, hey, they cut back features from the TV, right?
Yeah.
And then those people are fine. And then the next people are arguing, hey, even though they cut back features, it kind of looks the same to TV. It can hold up. So it's hard. It's hard to say. I personally am on the fence. I mean, I'm not on the fence. I'm more on the side that says that it is a worthy jump, and it is worthy of the price. And I compared the Q90T directly to our Q8FN, and we both bought them on sale. We bought this one for $2,200. We bought that one for $1,800. We bought that one for $1,800. So that $400 difference, like between the two, I would say that it is. You would notice it because you have the gaming. It's gaming future proofed. It has wider viewing angles. It's slightly brighter. In terms of the Q8FN, just by viewing, it's slightly brighter, more vibrant picture, and
I would say the one thing that makes this worth more than the Q8FN was the fact that this is future proof. Yeah. Even if it does only have the one.
For sure, that's what you're paying for, right?
2.1 HDMI port,
you're paying for that. That's the $400. There it is. And also, but the other things I mentioned, like the wide viewing angles, the better picture, and it's got a little bit better speakers as well. But it's hard. It's hard. Like it's so close at times where some things that we're watching, if you're watching directly in front of the TV and from both TVs, it's pretty close. That TV is calibrated, and
we've had both of them running at the same time. So we've had the calibrated one running the same whatever we were
content,
watching, exactly content, and then we'd have the same run on the Q90T running on the same
same stuff, and you can barely notice it at times. So I mean, it's not because this TV is not really hasn't been calibrated. This TV is still out of the box, and I don't know, maybe with calibration, maybe we can see more of a difference. But for now, it's pretty close. So
for it not being calibrated, it's
So for her to say her point of, hey, it's not worth the price, I could understand that. I could see where you're coming from.
There's features missing, and like, again,
would you be happy,
the general feeling
would you have been happy if they offered this TV for $1,800? For $1,800, you would have been happy, right? You would have been, wow, it's the same price as that TV, and it's got all these crazy features. You would have been
I guess.
way satisfied, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine so. I mean, who wouldn't love that price? That's $400 cheaper. But like you said, you're paying that $400 for future proofing of the gaming. So and in conclusion, our purchase of the Q90T, I would say that overall I'm satisfied with our purchase. I would say that.
Wait, look at that. That's pretty colorful. That's very, very vibrant.
Yeah. So this is right now running on the HDMI 4 port, HDR UHD, and right now it is on the, let me just see here. I believe it's on the, it's on filmmaker mode. So it's on filmmaker mode, and using the Apple TV 4K. So yeah, it looks great, like you were mentioning. So basically, overall, I just wanted to say, like, each TV has its pros and cons. Whether you have an OLED, whether you have an LED, LCD TV, past plasmas, whatever. Every TV is going to have its pros and cons, and every TV is going to be better for someone and not good for another person. So it's really about what you're personally trying to use your TV for and finding the right match. And for us, for our room setup, for our usage, it is, I think, the ideal TV. And with the purchase price, I think I'm satisfied. So
overall, I'm satisfied. I mean, essentially,
but you're not,
nothing.
Though. But you're not, though.
Okay, so.
But are you, though?
I was gonna say overall, there's nothing new. Okay, so let me start that again.
Because it says here.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I have mixed feelings.
Yeah. Fine.
You have mixed feelings about
it. The paper says that, but
yeah,
what do I really think?
I thought but it says I have mixed feelings about it. I thought I was getting the best 4K out there.
I already said all that stuff before.
But it didn't wow me more than 4K. Yeah, well, you can always. It's the truth. It's the truth, though. Is it not the truth? Like.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just mention what you feel.
And in my opinion, in conclusion, my opinion, I have mixed feelings. I'm not really siding so much with the Q90T. It's great, but again, I felt we're missing some features.
That person's digging a hole.
Why is everyone else moving? But he's always moving.
No, they're all moving.
Yeah.
He's just moving slow.
Yeah, it just didn't wow me. I was looking, I guess, for something new, something I hadn't seen, and the quality I've seen before. This is great. It's not to say that it's not great quality or color, but it's
like look at the black. Like look at the dark scenes right.
It's just something that
I've go back and I'm like
already seen before. The Q8FN, great TV. Again, it's calibrated, but.
Well, like that looks like.
I was looking for something new, something that the Q8FN already wowed me, with its color and its brightness, and expecting to feel the same way with a brand new top of the line 4K Samsung TV. It's great, but nothing new, nothing that I haven't already seen.
Well, except for the gaming feature. I mean, it has yet to come, so we'll see when the PS5 or the Xbox One X, Xbox Series X. It's so funny that they call this Series X, even though we had the One X. It's so close to each other. It's like why? But yeah, I'm curious to see when they get released and how it's gonna perform with the TV. Check out our channel. I've shown just different content,
games,
and it's just
movie
to
clips,
see
TV.
how it shows, how it performs, and please let me know if you have any questions.
And again, I mean, you are just watching it through the camera, but it doesn't do any justice when
Yeah, it's way better. It's way better in person. I mean, with any TV, really. With any TV, I feel like it's going to be better in person. Anything you watch on YouTube, they're recording through their camera, and they're going to be rendering it and then uploading it. So all throughout that, the video is going to get compressed, all kind of compressions and all this stuff, and it's never going to be what you're going to be able to see in real life, in person, and the TV looks a lot better in person. With future updates or future versions of the TV, and whether it be next year or so, I hope they can just fine tune it and get the most perfect TV out there, and hopefully don't give up on 4K. I know that's what it feels like. I hope that everybody's not giving up, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and that's
it for now.
Yeah, that's Ali and Jess. Bye, guys.
See you later.